My ex hated my family and friends and made me pay for it. I started to edit myself around him and felt myself fading. Then I reclaimed myself. My name is Nova. I met Zach on a chilly September morning at the local bookshop. I was browsing, looking for some new poetry to add to my collection when I heard a voice close to my ear say, "Good pick. I promise you this one will wreck your heart, but in a good way." I smiled. His voice was low and warm, giving me goosebumps. I gave in and had one of the most riveting conversations I'd ever had with him, exchanging numbers right then and there. I was 26 and he was 34. He was so self assured, vastly different from the guys my age that I knew. He had a quick wit and seemed so thoughtful and articulate. It was practically love at first sight, almost like fate at play. The next few weeks were intoxicating. Zach and I strolled through open air markets. We danced while we made dinner together in his kitchen on a date night, and we stayed up late discussing our childhoods and our dreams. He made me feel seen, like I was a treasure that he couldn't wait to reveal, piece by piece. It was sunshine and rainbows until the clouds until the clouds came rolling through. At first, it was subtle. So subtle that I thought I was imagining things, reading too much into nothing. He'd raise an eyebrow when I laughed too loudly on a call with one of my sisters, or he'd ask why I had to post pictures with my friends all the time. Validation much? He'd joke with a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. I was so oblivious. I brushed it off. Everyone has their quirks, right? Wrong. His remarks became sharper and came more and more often. He criticized everything and everyone in my life. He once told me my best friend Tina had a victim mentality because she called me on the phone to vent about her bad breakup. Another time, he asked why I let my brother take up so much real estate in my life. "Do you ever think for yourself?" he callously asked me one night when I canceled a date because my mom took a bad fall and needed to be rushed to the emergency room. His words stung like paper cuts, small and relentless, until they started turning big. I found myself starting to edit myself around him, sifting my words with care. I stopped sharing some stories with him and found myself second guessing every call I wanted to make. I muted group chats so that I could temper my reactions around him. Little by little, I became a shadow of my former self. I found that I was constantly sad, no longer the bubbly woman with an addiction for obscure poetry. One day, I was in Zach's kitchen making us some chamomile tea when I accidentally knocked over a ceramic mug. It shattered on the tiles, the hot water in the cup splashing everywhere. My heart stuttered and I froze. That was my knee-jerk reaction. "Honestly, Nova," he bellowed, "can you not go one day without making a mess and destroying things? What is wrong with you?" I stood there, struck dumb by the word vomit that came from him. I didn't reply. I couldn't find the words to say. I just stood there, silent and in utter disbelief. I was spending the night, and for some reason, it didn't occur to me to leave right then. I felt like everything around me was moving in slow motion, and my brain was struggling to process it all. Zach tried to act nonchalant, like nothing had happened, but the atmosphere was undeniably strained. There was a tension between us now, one that refused to be brushed under the carpet. Later that night, thunder echoed across the dark night and rain tapped against the windows. The tumultuous weather seemed so in tune with my racing mind. Before I'd gotten into bed, I'd looked at my reflection in the mirror. My eyes looked tired, dull even, their usual shine missing completely. I had lost my spark, and it showed. I had been so judgmental of women who stayed in abusive relationships before, declaring that they could leave if they wanted to. And now, here I was, in the same situation, and I didn't even know how it had happened, or when, or why I had let it get this far. One thing was clear to me, though. I was the one that had to draw the line. I was the one that had to put a stop to this. Nobody was coming to save me. I had to shore up my strength and save myself. I missed my friends, my siblings, even my parents. Parts of me that I had put on hold for Zach's comfort. After a fitful sleep, I rose with the dawn and quietly got dressed. I grabbed all of my things and packed them into the small suitcase that I'd brought with me. As I was closing the zipper on the suitcase, Zach's voice startled me, asking, "You're packing? What's going on, Nova? You're here for a few more days." I couldn't quite look him in the face as I turned around slowly. I focused my eyes on his chin and I whispered, "I'm leaving, Zach. I can't do this anymore. This isn't me. This can't be me." If I expected him to try to stop me, I would have been sorely disappointed. Zach just stepped aside and let me leave. No begging, no shouting, no theatrics at all. At the bottom of it all, I don't think he ever really loved me. I was just putty that he could mold any way he wanted. Just something to control. It's been 5 months now, and I never did hear from Zach again. But that's okay. I have my tribe back, and I'm happier for it. I've stitched myself back together, messy, imperfect, but whole. Like, share, subscribe to hear more stories.